The following show features episodic breakdowns of Jackass, either performed by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. For your safety, avoid listening to this podcast at all times. Hi, I'm Mikey Aaronworth.
I'm Jason Wellwood.
And I'm Chris Aaronworth.
Welcome to Jackass.
Welcome to Jackass. It's the podcast where we're on a path of destruction through every single episode of Jackass.
We are three lifelong fans of the show, reliving the belly laughs, bad ideas, and broken bones. Pew, 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 pew.
Oh, what the fuck?
Okay.
Like,
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
We're back.
Pause. I thought we set a good pace out of the gate there. I thought part two,
I've been too on point lately. I need to, the fans like when I mess up a little bit.
Do they? What
so.
a great responsibility or lack thereof to have, when you're known for, it would be kind of like if you're the Hollywood actor who's known for being a slob. So you just get to be a slob. And that's like, it's like, well,
like Donnie Benet.
No, that's exactly what it is.
Donnie Benet,
Like Donnie
Jonah
Benet.
Hill. Yeah.
Jonah Hill, yeah. All right, Jonah, what do you got for us today? What's the fun fact?
Well, I did the fun fact. This is the same episode.
You're not doing another one? We don't
Gotta
get
do more.
All right.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Put me on the spot.
Sorry, bud.
Well, back on this day,
Maybe I shouldn't have put him on the spot.
there was this thing,
Yeah.
and it was traveling across the United States.
Mm-hmm. What is this day, by the way, Chris?
This day is
What was the
October
temperature?
15th
What was
of the year
weather?
2010.
Because what happened on October 15th,
it's funny you asked about the
2010?
weather because this thing that was flying across the states happened to be a Chinese spy balloon.
Ooh, shit.
Familiar story.
Yeah. So it was flying around, and they were like, "Hey, don't worry, it's just a Chinese spy balloon."
Wait,
And
who said
then
don't worry? Did
They
the
started
Chinese-
shooting it down
Don't worry
after,
about it, guys.
and then there was more shoot downs that were happening, and then train derailments, and it's all some big psyop to make people not focus on the train derailment that's poisoning Palestine, Ohio.
East
Right.
Palestine. Yeah. The most interesting thing about what Chris is saying here is, like, I think, sometimes Chris really leans into his man of the people persona. But if you were privy to, and by the way, we're focusing on Jackass 3D. It's part 2 of that episode. That's what, that's what came out on October 15th, 2010.
Yes, we are.
The Chris in like our family group chat was obsessed with this whole balloon thing. You can tell when we're
It
recording.
wasn't
this
balloons; it was UFOs. The balloon
it
I
was
wasn't
UFOs.
obsessed with. It was once the UFOs were shot down.
Oh, right. Because there were some reports by Twitter accounts with blue check marks, guys. They had blue check marks, and they were saying they were octagons. The government is out to get us. And
Wait,
Chris
what?
was like in with both feet on all
Were
of
they
it.
sponsored by Nike? I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, they were.
What's with the check mark?
Well, the blue check marks means you're a verified Twitter account. It means you're a real person,
Okay,
and
sorry.
you only spew facts.
I don't know
Yeah.
the internet.
Well,
Hey.
now it does. Now that Elon took it over and cleaned up all those fucking libtards out of there.
Taking out the trash. Eh?
Everything
speaking
has
of
to be
that,
a statement.
I do have a grievance before we get started with a comedian,
Oh my God,
one of my
I can't
favorite
believe you're going
comedians.
into this. I can't believe you're going into this.
Who's your favorite comedian?
Well, first of all, it's kind of cool because he clearly listens to the show, and he must have been a big fan for a while because he stole my fucking bit.
Mhm.
He is now claiming himself to be a man of the people, and he is playing that role exactly like I do. Like, he studied my tapes. Tom Segura, I expect better out of a comedian. We're not about bit
Love that
biting
guy.
over here, and I know, I loved him too. But
I'm
he's
actually
stealing
okay
my
with him
man of the
taking the
people
bit,
bit.
'cause he's
no,
pretty good.
not him.
Yeah.
No, I am the man of the people, and he's trying now, and he's trying to play it the same type of way. Like, you know what, Tom, you're already famous. Let me have this one. So I know
Actually,
you're
I
listening
think,
out there, Tom. Just
I
putting
think if
that
he's
out
a
there.
real man, he would come on the show, and we'd have a man off.
Yeah,
Maybe
true.
we'll be
man
on
to
your
man,
mom's house.
people.
They'll clip this and make an absolute fool out of me, but we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see, baby.
Chris
Oh,
is
you guys want to
convinced.
go? You want to do this?
Let's
or-
do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, where we left off was just a bunch of, I think we were talking about uncircumcised penises and Jerry Seinfeld in the B movie.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're back and Dunn is in the chair. And when I say the chair, you're going to know in a second what I'm talking about. But boys, wasn't this a fucking advertisement for something that they're mocking here? You got Dunn in like the lazy boy. He's got the
He's-
blazer on, the sunglasses, and he's in that lean back position. He's reclined.
It's the Memorex.
Is it
advertisement.
Memorex?
Yeah.
Okay. For all you kids who don't remember, there was a time where we would burn CD media with songs that we downloaded illegally off the internet.
I think Memorex goes back to like tapes, not just the CDs.
No, it does not.
I'm
Don't
serious.
correct me.
I'm serious, man.
You ever make a mix CD for your girlfriend or a girl you liked in high school or junior high school.
What was the song you guys picked? What was the song you guys picked if you're making a mixtape?
Oh, that was the one?
No, that was way past its time. I probably would have picked like something sad.
I probably just put
emo.
like the fucking Bum Bum song on there or something. I don't know. That was hot at the time, wasn't it?
That was a pretty big tune, and that was definitely on probably one of the first mixtapes I've ever made in my life, for sure.
Definitely on a CD in one of my
one of the first
boxes.
things I've ever downloaded, that music video, when we finally got like Rogers the Wave, and you could like not have to do dial-up 56K modems, and you could actually download something in less than a day.
Yeah.
Yep. See, now Chris, it's not all bad, right? Tom Green's all right. A little bit of Tom Green's all right.
Oh, I like Tom Green.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just hate Mikey. That's really what it comes down to.
Do you need any more proof of it?
Yeah, no, just confirming. So Dunn's in the chair. He's all dressed up. He looks like the guy in the advertisement, and they're going to blow air on him. But you're kind of wondering, well, what are they going to use? A big fan? They're going to get like a crew of people with those. What do you call those things that you squeeze together to stoke the fire?
Oh, the same thing they put in Preston Lacey's ass to get him to poof.
Yeah. No, my friends, they've gone all out. They've got a motherfucking jet engine on site here, and they're just going to blast him. I got to say, guys, Dunn in this chair when they turn on the jet. He has absolutely no control over how he's going to fall here. And I realized he's so fucking lucky because the chair leg breaks if you look closely, and that causes him to fall to the side instead of straight back, which if he would have, I think he would have had a broken neck. Like, he could have been killed by this stunt.
I don't think any of them realized how bad this was actually going to be. Like, how impactful the jet engine was actually going to be. And they kind of, I've heard them talk about some of the behind the scenes on this one. Loomis, it's very well known, as Johnny Knoxville explained it, powdered his collarbone when he did the Jiminy Cricket. I don't think they expected a jet engine to have quite as much push as it did, which, I mean, go figure. But you're right, Jay. If he did go back and even if he just smacked his head, like, never mind breaking his neck, like, his brains could have been on the fucking asphalt right behind there. So many things could have gone wrong with this one. And they always talk about not knowing what they were going to do with this stunt and just showing up and being like, all right, let's make something work. They brought a bunch of props and just kind of like had some fun with it. And this definitely has that vibe.
You know what they were missing here?
What's that?
I was trying to like work this out because have you ever heard of that stuff, liquid ass? It's like basically like fart juice. Like, it smells so bad.
Oh, okay.
If you flung some of that into it, so not only was it the jet stream, but you got like fart in your face at the same time, I think that would have been pretty cool. Because I was watching that, like, this viral video where it's like some guy like grandma has like an air mask machine, and he like walks up and he farts into it and she starts gagging. So I was kind of like, it just something along those lines. Add a little bit of comedy to it. You know what I'm actually surprised they didn't do? Because Dave Englund was there and Bam pissed into the jet stream. We got Jay.
Poor fucking grandma.
Did you ever see that video, Jay? I'm going to send you that clip after this.
Other than give you the DNA that you needed to exist, you know.
He's like, thanks for dinner. Grandma walks out of the room and just like sees her machine, just farts in it. They're like, oh, come on. And then she starts gagging. It's just top notch. Chris, you should just go on a podcast where you talk about funny clips that you saw on the internet. That would be pretty decent.
You could be the new Tosh.0.
Yeah. Actually, we should mention this because we got a lot of comments after last week's episode. We talked about Beavis and Butthead showing up, and Chris, you said you're like, Beavis and Butthead. It was either you or Jay. I think it was you, Chris, who said Beavis and Butthead should comment on TikTok videos. And that's actually now what they do as part of the new refresh. We asked the question. No way. We asked the question, like, is Beavis and Butthead still relevant? And a lot of people said yes. They said relevant, and it's still just as good. If you liked it back then, you'll probably like it now. So thanks for some of those tips. I'm actually definitely going to check it out now that I know that.
So we predicted the future again, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, we predicted the past, but we didn't know the past back then. So, I mean, we kind of, it's like that line in Mad Men where he's like, I invented like the twist lipstick. It's like, you invented that? It's like, no, but I had the idea before I knew it was an actual thing. It's like,
obviously, Mike, you would do a Mad Men reference. He's such a womanizer.
Chris, Mad Men is like the name of the group of people you pander to most. There's like incels and Mad Men. That's who you're talking to.
And logical females.
Logical. Chris, last week you talked about women not deserving money for playing professional sports because they're not as good. Those were the words that you said. No, you're
twisting my words. See, you're trying to do what everybody does to entertain. You're just trying to manipulate my words and cut my shit. All I was saying is the ratio that they're getting paid is actually a higher percentage in soccer, at least, than the World Cup athletes were. So if you wanted equal pay, then you should actually be making negative money because their net revenue versus what was spent is completely different.
That's actually
the fact.
That's actually not at all. You didn't mention that at all when you talked about it. I think all you said is oh, if you want to try to play sports and be good, go do it, but you suck. I think is more the paraphrase that you were looking for.
I think you deep faked me during that because you're trying to spin the fucking paradigms to
Could
make
you
me
imagine?
seem like when you're deep down, Mikey is the womanizer. He is the racist.
Uh-huh.
All right. Do you think?
Don't get me started on women of different ethnicities because I'll just go off.
So the part when Chris was shitting on the dreams of small girls who wanted to get into sports, where did that fit in? Was that the deep fake as well, or was that like just some tough love there?
What was that?
That was like it was. I don't know. It's you know, you guys know.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
okay.
we know. You're right.
We know,
yeah,
yeah,
why would
we
we?
know.
Of course we
Why
know.
do we even need to explain it? I don't know why we're
Man of the
wasting
people.
time
I would
on
never
this.
say anything hurtful to the people.
No. You know what? I don't think you could say anything hurtful to the people, or definitely not a man in a wingsuit who's going to take on the jet engine, because that's got to take some sort of balls to want to go do that.
Yeah.
But you get a whole compilation of things here. I think my favorite, though, is the waiter with the tray of drinks who just walks in, and it's like there's a wall where the air is normal, and then as soon as you cross that threshold, it's just like 200 miles per hour wind, and he just disappears. The tray disappears. It almost like it's what I imagine getting sucked into a black hole would look like.
Yes, that's a great way to put it.
The tray
yeah.
it disappears into nothing.
It's as though they get hit with a truck. Like it's hard to imagine. It's like when you're a kid and you just assume that you're like, man, if a plane crashes into water, how does it break?
Right.
It's water. Like water doesn't hurt you when you fall onto it. In this way, you're like, there's no way air can do that to someone. It has to be like a physical force, but it's not. That's just how raucous this jet engine is. Dave Englund, you're right though, as the butler just disappearing into thin air, like it being turned into particles was fantastic, but it disappointed me. Chris mentioned some of the fart juice or something. Dave Englund is a professional shitter, self-proclaimed. Wow. Bam pissed into the wind. Why didn't he shit into the wind? That would have been the image that we were all.
You know what would have happened probably as he pushes that jet. The jet thing is so powerful it would like come out his mouth. It would like shoot the poop back and he'd fucking puke the poop.
Oh yes. I was gonna say it was gonna wipe for him. The jet stream was so powerful, but I like that.
Guys, do you think you would have to? Do you think you would have to wipe?
No, come on. It would come out so cleanly.
It's like a Dyson bidet. You know those like awesome Dyson hand dryers that everybody loves, but like the bidet version.
Yeah,
it's exactly like that.
Do you guys have any favorite? I know Jay, you mentioned the butler. Chris, did you have a favorite moment in this one?
The anticipation of the wingsuit, because that just like. You know, you just picture him just like, all right, see you later. And he's gone forever, just flies right away. It didn't quite land that way, but like just a lot of this is like all about the anticipation for me.
I think it was terrifying watching those footballs fly like that. I think more than anything, the footballs gave you a sense of how fast these things move. Those looked like the sky. I felt bad for Danger Aaron having to catch those because that looks impossible.
Yeah. What would you guys think on this one if we had to give it a rating? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, yeah, you go, Chris.
6 out of 10. Didn't really do much for me.
Okay.
I like the ingenuity. I like that it
engine.
happened, but like, and it was like, it did answer some questions, but it was missing something. I think more of a comedy level. It didn't like, it just didn't really land for me.
Sure. Jay, what about you?
You know what? I'm actually with Chris on this one.
Yeah, baby.
Because it's, this should be amazing, right? And it is. I give him props for fucking jumping into a jet engine. I wouldn't be jumping in there, risking my life, breaking my neck and shit. But it doesn't. I almost forgot that it existed. Don't get me wrong. I got excited when it came on, but Mikey's gonna give me shit, but fuck him. I'm grading on a bell curve here, Mikey. There's better things in the movie than this. But that just speaks to the quality of this film.
Yeah.
Like if this was in a shittier film, it would probably be one of the highlights. So I'm not going to go to a 6, but I'm probably going to keep it no higher than a 7. 7's, and I'm being generous with the 7, but I can't go beyond that. Like it's fun.
I don't know why I'm you would think I'd hate you for it. I had fun with this one, but I totally agree. This was it was kind of lacking in a central thread. Like the premise was great, but usually what makes a good sketch, like Dave Englund's the Bungee Boogie, they keep ramping it up and ramping it up and ramping it up. There's a little bit more time given to each one so that you can kind of simmer in it a little bit. This one, the fact that I was sitting here watching it and thinking like, oh, I think I have some ideas that could have worked better, just feels like they had a great premise and they didn't fully see it through. And I think that actually takes points away. I'm going to go with a 6.9 on this one. out of 10, obviously out of 10. But I do the last comment I want to say is like, shout out to Loomis. We make fun of Loomis, aka Spike, a lot on this one. He's the guy who Jiminy crickets and powders his collarbone. But when he's rolling around in the mud, I realize that like he, as a human, has like a natural camouflage for muddy grass. He just is greens and browns. Like I don't know how else to explain it. He just works. He disappears
really
and just
does.
becomes a part of the earth. It was amazing.
Yeah. Okay. It's. I think you're right. You said preparedness. I think that's what it is, right? It's the preparedness. It's like they had a great concept here, but they could have did a little more with it. Like, it's still exciting. And again, like seeing the drink tray disappear and all that shit is great. But it's like, I want more of that shit where it's like elaborate setups in the Memorex gig. Because after those two things, I don't feel like there was anything that was like meticulously planned out to, you know, like they could have did a whole domino effect fucking thing here with like multiple pieces, but a lot of the time it was just, hey, let's fucking jump in and see what happens. So yeah,
for sure.
I think you're on the right track.
I
with
had
that.
a note on this, and my notes are so scatterbrained. And like, if I watch something,
I would pay so much money to look at Chris's notes. I want to see what you write down during these so bad. Are you just drawing pictures of UFOs? The whole time?
It's like I watch it and I don't stop, I don't pause, I just like, it's like spoken tongue. It's like whatever comes to my mind.
Sorry,
and I have this note.
It's like what, Chris?
Spoken tongue.
Spoken tongue? What the fuck is spoken tongue?
He speaks in tongues.
It's like you just
he records it. And
exactly. It's like comes from your soul.
Yeah.
So I have this one note on this.
Praise the Lord.
Also, the only note that I have for this entire sketch, believe it or not, and it says, "Almost had a Phil look in a weird way." Does that ring a bell? I don't know.
Look?
Yeah, no idea.
Look.
Yeah. I don't know if I was talking about Dunn, if I was talking, I don't really know what I was, because I watched this a while ago. Now I'm like, well, that was a really helpful note. Good thing. If it was the next day, I would have remembered what I was thinking. But like, yeah. So no one
is that maybe like bleeding into the next sketch? Maybe
potentially.
That note.
I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, that's insight into my mind.
Okay.
And which I understand even less somehow than I used to now.
Yeah.
Well, if you like big boys, Chris, we've got a big boy for you in the next one. This is Preston going to the store, and he's going to get a guy to watch his dog while he runs in there, which, hey, boys, we've all been there. Get a random to watch your dog. So he gives him the leash, and he goes in and just, I don't know, audience, take a guess. What do you think's going to happen here?
Oh, that's good.
That's great. Yeah, Wee Man comes out, but here's the difference. You know, you always get the Wee Man Preston swap, but this one they put makeup on Wee Man, and he looked so much like Preston that my mind couldn't comprehend what I was looking at, and I literally felt nauseous. My body had a visceral reaction to seeing Wee Man look exactly like a mini Preston.
Yeah, they added some flaps for sure that weren't there before.
Yeah. By the way, if anyone, I know you kind of joked about it, Jay, you're like, you know, like we've all had to watch someone's dog before. Is there anyone left in the world alive on this planet who, if you asked them to watch their dog, they wouldn't immediately know they were about to be on a prank TV show? Like, there's no other excuse to ask someone to do that.
I've done it all the time.
Someone asks you to watch their dog. Someone trusts
if
you
I
to do
wanted
that?
this, if I want, fuck you. Dogs love me, man. I would walk into the store and I'd be like, "Hey, do you mind just keeping an eye on them for a second?" Because there's bad guys out there that steal dogs.
Yeah, and sometimes you ask, Chris, I'm never letting you look after my dog ever again. Have you done that with Frankie? Have you done that with Frankie?
You never let me
before?
watch Frankie.
Well, now you know why, because you're giving dogs away to strangers.
No, I tie them up to the pole, but I'm like, hey, just sit there for a second. You get a good character.
Mikey, did you name your dog after international bad boy superstar NASCAR driving Malcolm in the Middle?
Frankie Muniz. Yes.
Is that
Frankie Valley?
It's actually more Frankie Valley, but Frankie's a female dog, so she's.
Why didn't you go with Reese? I always thought Reese was a better character.
I went with Bryan Cranston, the father of Malcolm in the Middle. Yeah.
Okay.
But I like him in a lot of roles, so I didn't want to pigeonhole him to just one.
Do you think Malcolm doesn't remember anything because of all the meth? You think it was the meth?
Yeah. Was their dad? Was that actually Bryan Cranston, like Walter White's origin story? It could have been.
Right.
Yeah. So. One thing I have a problem with the sketches.
Yeah, sorry, the sketch, yes.
Right.
Fuck that guy. He just gave the dog to clearly not the right person and just let him walk away.
100%.
Like, I don't give a fuck if you think you're being pranked or whatever the case is. Like, you do not give the dog to somebody else and let them walk away. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Clearly the guy didn't shrink. This isn't fucking Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, all right?
Yeah. In his mind, to give the dog away, he has to believe he's either gone legitimately insane or real human beings have shrunk. That, in his mind, one of those things have happened.
One of those two things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck that guy, man. Maybe I shouldn't start letting people hold the dog.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not.
How much money is your dog worth then? Like 4 million, 20? Like, how much was he raking in per episode is what I want to know.
Oh, you mean Frankie Muniz?
Yeah.
Ooh, good question. Ooh.
And why did he do Spy Kids? I always thought that was like a big left turn.
He didn't do Spy Kids. He did Big Fat
Shark
Liar.
Boy and Lava Girl?
He did Big Fat Liar.
Big Fat Liar. I'm pretty sure he did Spy Kids.
Really?
He was in some sort of spy movie.
Yeah, Big Fat Liar.
Is that a spy movie?
Cody Banks, Agent Cody Banks.
Okay.
Mikey obviously knows all the children movies.
Zing. All
I have to keep them entertained in the basement. What do you want?
That's what I'm saying.
No, you don't. That's
okay,
bad,
I guess
Mikey.
I won't let them watch
Bad,
movies
Mikey.
in their
Yeah,
last
okay.
week on this planet. Fine, Jay. I'll do what you say.
All right. Jesus Christ. That got dark real fast.
Just like my basement.
Yeah, I know. It's dingy down there. But you know what? It's never dingy in the roller buffalo rink.
I love this song.
Yeah, what song is this?
It's
in a buffalo.
It's called Roller Buffalo, and it's by Roger.
Actually,
it's by Roger Miller.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I just know I love it. It's got a good vibe. Like bonus points.
It's called You Can't Roller Skate with a Buffalo Herd. Sorry.
Why not though?
Yeah, I don't know either.
Well, I think we're
guess
about to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
So what do you guys think of the pink cardigan, first of all? Pink cardigan.
This is Johnny Knoxville
Nice touch.
set up. He's wearing roller skates and he's just kind of dancing around outside the pen of a bunch of buffalo. And this is like nowadays Johnny's cardigan, like a fluorescent colored cardigan, is kind of an iconic style. But I think that correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is like the first time I've seen him wear one. And then it just kind of became his new style.
Okay, so this was it.
His
Like
dance
something
moves.
changed in him when those 4 buffalo ran through the chute and just obliterate the fucking shit out of this guy. That's something.
Imagine though being Roger Miller. All right. The year is 1965. You write a song with the explicit message. Guys, there's one thing you can't do around a buffalo herd. It's really specific, and I can't imagine it's ever going to come into play in anyone's reasonable life. Just don't roller skate near a buffalo herd. And Johnny Knoxville hears this song and says, "Hold my beer. I'm about to make Roger Miller famous." He's rolling in his
Miller.
He's roller skating in his fucking grave right now. Yeah.
I
so
Googled
funny.
Robert Miller. And apparently Robert Miller is a Canadian businessman and philanthropist. I can't talk. Fuck Robert. Get a better
You don't know
title.
Bobby Mills?
No, but he
That's his nickname,
invented
Bobby Mills.
future electronics in 1968. And get this, guys. Get this. Are you ready? He's a supporter of Alcor Life Extension Foundation and cryogenics research.
That's actually pretty good.
Cryonics? Maybe he's frozen somewhere. We got a Popsicle Miller out there.
No,
He's
Bobby
waiting to
Mills
be-
is still alive, man. He's still doing his thing.
So here's a question, because we're on the topic of Jackass and Roller Buffalo. Would you guys get cryogenically frozen? That's what I want to know.
No.
Would you pull the Demolition Man?
No.
And,
What do I want to stick around
on the
for?
off chance that I'm conscious during that whole time and I'm just stuck super bored? It's like my biggest fear.
It's more
What,
like,
you mean while you're conscious, while you're frozen?
Like just on the
How
off
would that
chance.
even
It's
be
like
possible?
I never want to be buried because I'm
Yeah.
like,
What
what
if
if
you wake
like
up?
you're still there inside and you're just like, man, I'm stuck in this fucking thing forever. Like if I'm cremated, I'm floating around in the fucking dust of when the dust hits the wind, you know? That's one thing. But like being stuck underground, like what if you just can't
Dust
move and your
hits
eye
the
and your
wind,
brain's
baby.
still in your head?
yeah, but Chris, by your logic, if you're still around when you're dead, then you're committing to getting burned alive. Or
Yeah.
like alive in quotation marks.
I'd rather have that happen in a quick fucking, like minute thing than eternity fucking sitting underground. And
Yeah,
stuck
but
in
then
a box.
you're gonna have like chameleon eyes for the rest of eternity, because
Ooh,
part of you is gonna be
cool.
spread over in a lake and part of you is gonna be spread. I mean, in my case, I'm gonna
man.
just flush you down my toilet, so you'll be in
Yeah.
the sewer of Toronto.
Think of all.
somewhere.
Would you smoke my
No.
ashes?
I
Think
would
of all the
smoke your
naked
ashes.
bums you get to see. I mean,
That's
they'd
true.
be shitting. They'd be shitting into you if you're part of the.
Well, so Jay, now I know what your last will and testament is.
So I'm just saying, I've thought about this. I've given it some thought. You know what else I've given some thought, guys? Picture this with me, if you
Not
will.
a segue, apparently.
No, trust me, it's a segue because
Okay.
I'm talking about picturing and visualizing,
Mhm.
which we're going to do right now. Trains on a nice summer day, a big green hill. This is the green hill zone, if you will. Hey, look, there goes Sonic the Hedgehog.
Hey, hell yeah.
Oh.
And there's 3 damaged preteens who think it's okay to fuck in a furry costume.
What?
Following him. Yes, I'm just saying Sonic the Hedgehog
You're
turned up
people dressed as
a
Sonic.
sexual awakening.
Yes.
Isn't there a whole bunch of Sonic the Hedgehog porn?
That's
Yeah,
I
probably.
think that's probably. Yeah, actually, no. Apparently, if you Google your name and
Oh, God.
Sonic the
Oh, God.
Hedgehog, there will be like a sexualized Sonic
Oh my God, I'm
character
doing
for
this
you.
right now. Who do you think is going to be the coolest?
Wait, let's say before we see who's the coolest, let's say who's going to have the biggest titties.
Ooh,
Who do you think's going to have the biggest titties?
I don't think any of us are.
No?
Ooh, Mikey looks pretty good though.
I
Mikey,
don't-
Do you type Sonic or Sonic the Hedgehog?
I searched
I don't wanna
Mikey
do
Sonic
this,
the Hedgehog, and
but I'm
I
fucking
searched,
doing it.
and he's got blonde hair. He's leaning up against an arcade cabinet with his like you know how cool people in leather jackets lean against walls when they smoke with like one leg against the brick wall. He's doing that, but to an arcade cabinet. Blonde
Okay.
hair, looking at the camera like he definitely wants to fuck the camera.
Yo, I think there's. Oh, dude, my guy is so. Man.
Oh, I see you,
But there's this like character called Chris something who's also a Sonic thing, so
Christopher
that's all, like,
Thorndike.
yeah. But then I found one Sonic, but this guy is like. Just gonna say it. I'm a gay Sonic.
Okay. That's fine. I there's nothing wrong with that. I accept you for who you are.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm a gay Sonic. Guys, I'm just gonna say it. I'm
Like,
a
which
gay
one am I
Sonic.
supposed to pick? The first one that comes up?
The one that you can clearly tell. Oh yeah, you got a lot of them.
I have the American voice actor, Jason Griffith, who looks kind of like he was Frankensteined into this existence. What's with his forehead? It's like it's like a big fucking jar of margarine just goes up in there. You just open the lid.
Well,
push
if you
a
want,
knife
if
in
you
there
want to
and
see
spread
what
it.
we're talking
Anyway,
about, yeah,
I'm on a tangent.
you
But-
can look up our names.
Yeah, just
and Sonic
Google
the
it
Hedgehog.
yourself.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
do I got to do the work for you? Mine, I got to say, mine just looks like a total weirdo, though. He's wearing gloves and like a gray tracksuit, and he's got headphones on.
No,
I don't know what's
Jay,
up
you're
with
not
that.
supposed to describe you right now. You're supposed to Google
Oh,
Jay Sonic the Hedgehog.
You know what? We'll leave it for later. We'll leave it in the bonus content. Bonus content. We'll come back to it.
How do we end up talking about Sonic again?
Because
So listen,
Jay
we're in the
said
Green Hill Zone.
Oh yeah.
Nice
yeah,
summer
sweet.
day. You got
I
a
was
big
really
Green Hill
visualizing that. It's
in the
nice.
frame. And guys, I don't know about you, but when I see this, the alarm bells start going off because I've been covered in shit, not literally. We've been covered in shit collectively as the audience in a tiny bathroom before. And I just have a feeling this is one of those. And it's not long before we get a geyser. Now, you mentioned earlier, Mikey, that Dave England can shit on command.
Yes.
I didn't know he was also, a historical national park tourist attraction,
Yeah.
which apparently he is, because
Old
when
Faithful.
this shit geysers out, my God, like this to me, it was like more grotesque than the tiny bathroom somehow. Did you guys feel the same way?
Yeah, because she shits up into the air. Basically,
Yeah.
like when Jay's talking about Green Hill Zone, in case you haven't seen this in a while, there's a big diorama. And by the way, like
diarrhea.
never has the word diorama applied quite as significantly as it does right now. You see like a bunch of there's a little train station, nice serene little yard. There's a miniature person who I guarantee is supposed to be Ryan Dunn, a little lumberjack with, again, as I mentioned in the last week's episode, a melee weapon over his shoulder. I'm like, that's for sure Ryan Dunn. And the thing is, you don't know, like, you know how in the one you mentioned, Jay, about the miniature bathroom,
Yeah.
and you don't know what you're about to see until shit just enters the screen. In this one, you don't know that you're looking at an ass because it's painted green like a mountain until it starts to kind of like roam around. The best part about
really
this,
don't. It's
the
great.
best part about this one, this was a pause break for me, and I was watching it on Prime Video. And when you pause Prime Video, it tells you who's in the scene, and it did mention Dave England, which I found so good. This is
It knows.
it knew it was
Man,
just
the
his
AIs
asshole, but yeah,
They're getting too smart now. The AIs, they can detect us by our assholes.
100%, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, Mikey, I gotta say too, like the slow-mo replay after,
Oh
you
my
really
God.
see which chunks have just like you see individual chunks. It's not one big stream of shit. Like there's some of them are like off-colored from the other chunks. Like first you get like an off yellow one, then it gets a little
Oh,
darker.
yeah.
It's like he ate a variety. He had a smorgasbord and then waited and let this kind of compact until he was ready to go. This is like 3 or 4 meals here, I'm sure. It's something.
Do you think you could like do like poo art by like eating very specific things in a specific order?
No.
And like coming out like one of those like fucking those like rocket popsicles, like the red, white, and blues.
I think
hope
there's
so.
only one way to find out, Chris. I think there's only one way to find out, and you got to report back to us.
I think I could do
Just
that, but I
eat-
just been having pure diarrhea for the past like 2 days.
Blueberries for one day, strawberries the next day.
Beets
And-
will
yeah.
work for sure.
Yeah. Beats
Okay,
by Dre. You just eat a bunch of headphones.
It'd be a stringy shit. Guys, listen, ignore that. That was terrible. Terrible joke. Oh, God. Let's just start over. Welcome to Jackass, the podcast where, Mikey, I know this isn't on the fucking docket to be rated, but
Yes.
unofficial ratings, please, because I love this fucking thing. Just real quick, just don't even tell me why. Just give me a number. What is this?
I'm giving this one 8.5.
Okay, Chris.
8.
Ooh, you guys, it's a 9. It's an
Oh my
easy
God.
9.
You are the
It's
beautiful. I thought you were
strangest
gonna go
person
2.
I know.
I should have went 2 for the joke, but it's an easy 9. Come on, shit
Yeah.
volcano.
I like
yes.
this a lot.
All
I
the way.
do like it a lot. I like that Dave is like, because he's kind of like knees over head, like ass in the air. And so when he shits, it comes right back down on him, and he panics because he can't get out. And like, good on like Johnny Knoxville is the
panic.
friend you want to have. Everyone else is laughing, and Knoxville's like, no, you know what? It's almost like Dave is using a safe word, and Johnny Knoxville's like, okay, no, guys, we got it. We got to get him out now. We got it.
What's the
This is
safe word, Mikey?
Oklahoma.
No, but like what? Why do people use safe words? I've never
I was
heard
gonna
of this
say
before.
prunes.
Oh,
was
it's
a good
because
one.
if you find yourself in a situation that you want to commit to, where you're going to be mistreated in some way, but you want to use something that is so far and away removed from the circumstances that it can't be misconstrued as you playing a character, you got to go back to that word. So Oklahoma is, and I know what you're trying to get me to say, Chris. I know what you're trying to get me to say. There's usually,
just admit it. You're a kink.
I'm a kink.
Yeah,
I'm-
like you're like one of those guys.
like he's a category.
I'm a
Like,
category?
I can go on Pornhub.
Yeah, people
and
have
see
Anybody
Mikey
with a
in the
mustache
categories
like that
and-
is into some weird sex shit. Let's
Yeah,
just be
I
honest.
mean, it's not all innocent fun. We'll say that.
Nice.
We already established
Giggity,
that. Just go
giggity.
look in the basement. Just pop your head down there for a couple seconds. You'll see. Hey guys, after a long day in the basement, though, I think we all want to hit the bar. So let's hit the bar. It's Wee Man, and he's brought a girl with him for a drink to the bar. And of course, Wee Man's a little guy, so of course he brings a little girl with him, and that's fine. A little girl, we
Little
should
girl,
preface,
Jesus
is
Christ,
not an
Jay.
underage woman.
She did not watch Spy Kids in my basement.
They did not watch Spy Kids in Mikey's basement. They're both little people, and they sit at the bar, and of course, like, people are just fucking staring and chuckling, like, as if there's something to laugh about. But I get it's a different time, and I guess, like, people from this that go and frequent this type of bar. This is like the kind of bar you'd pull up to a truck stop, like highway side of the road kind of bar. Yeah. They probably haven't seen little people often, but it's kind of like you look at it now in 2023 and you're kind of like, what the fuck, guys? Just like go back to your drinks, get over it. It's not a big deal. But whatever. I'm not getting all fucking political rant here.
But you're kind of right, Jay. There's something funny about this, which is when Wee Man first walks into the bar with as you described the little girl, they walk through the bar, and everyone does that thing where they look at them, and then they immediately like kind of just like look right past them as if to say like, look how normally I just looked at these strange individuals, but I'm a good person, so I just hello fellow real human being. Hang on, sorry, 1 sec. Carly, is the toast burning? Okay. Sorry, no, I
thought you were having a brain aneurysm there for a
no.
second. They say if you smell burning toast, you're about to die.
I was worried because I didn't know if she knew the toast.
Is Carly the kid in your basement?
Yeah. Exactly.
Do kids eat burnt toast? I
guess we have to keep this in the episode, because now it's canon. When what eventually ends up happening is a third person walks in, who is also a little person, as Jay would probably describe, a little boy, even though he's like 40 years old, walks by.
Hey, look at the little boy.
When the third little person walks in, people do everything they can to make it so that their physical field of vision is the opposite direction of these three people. They cannot handle themselves.
Looking up,
down. There's a guy playing pool who literally turns his whole damn body the other direction and stands away from the pool table so that his back is to the three of them.
One guy that just jumped through a plate glass window. Couldn't handle it. He didn't know where to look.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah. Oh, talk about that aggressive male gaze, eh, guys? Can't look anywhere these days.
No.
But in all seriousness, this is where it gets great, eh, Chris? What did you think of this when they start getting into a bit of an argument because the boyfriend shows up?
As Jay says, the little boyfriend. Yeah.
Yeah, the little boyfriend. What did you think?
Give me your thoughts. I just got to like preface this a little bit because this, to me, I don't know how you guys think of it, is one of my favorite parts of the movie. Like this
really?
whole
Nice.
sketch.
Nice.
Because I spent, like, my natural habitat is these types of bars. It's my favorite place to be during the day in these super divey bars. And a lot of people might see this and be like, obviously people would be like, this is obviously a sketch. If you spend enough time in those types of places, this is a light afternoon. It's a fucking light afternoon. Okay. This is not weird at all.
I was wrong then.
So for me, seeing this, I was picturing myself being like, this is definitely plausible. I've seen weirder shit for sure. Chris, so I'm laughing so hard because I know these people have no fucking idea what to do. And half of them are fucking pissed and they're just like, they cannot wait to fucking tell their friends about the crazy day they had, or finally created some excitement in their day, because it's usually pretty boring, right?
The only thing that would occlude anyone in here off to the fact that there's probably a film crew around is if someone walked in and said, could you look after my dog? That would have been more of a sign.
Exactly. So yeah, I was all about this bit. It's just visually fucking funny. I'm just putting myself in those people's shoes. I like every bit about this.
Yeah. You know, when the fight starts too, it's like some real ass punches here too. Like that fucking boyfriend, man, he can swing.
Because basically the premise, sorry, just to explain what happens, because Wee-Man and the woman are in there at the bar. The third little person comes in and basically says, that's my girl. And Wee-Man's like, shut up, dude. She's mine now, whatever, like go away. And then the fight starts to happen. So just to set up the premise of like why they're all here.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, like when they get into it, man, it's fucking like, it's a real barroom brawl. Like everybody's just like in shock watching everybody go at it. But it's not long before the police come in. And of course, they're little police as well. So it just keeps getting more and more slapstick here.
That might be the point where I'd be like, okay, maybe there's something going on here.
Yeah. And
but
a good shot. Did you notice, Chris, like there's a good shot of security here? Like seriously, what the fuck do we pay you for, Karen?
Yeah.
Just sitting there in shock. She got security on her t-shirt. Does absolutely nothing to stop the fight. I'd be getting in there. I'd be throwing people left and right, throwing them outdoors, breaking pool cues over these motherfuckers. I don't care. Get out. Don't fight in my bar. I don't care how tall you are. Your height. There's no height requirement on this ride, baby. Yeah.
I was more enamored by the security's existence in this sketch than anything else, because while it's going on, so the like three little people start a fight, the cops come in, they're all little people, the paramedics come in, they're all little people, and she brings her phone out and says she's going to call the cops as though she's not aware that this is already a setup. It's like she's going to call the cops and be like, hey, listen, the fight's still going on, but this time you gotta send some regular size folk because they're not able to control the situation. Like she still doesn't get that this is a thing.
Oh, I love it.
It's good, right? It's a good bit. Chris, you seem to really, really like this one. So do you want to jump in and give it a rating?
Yeah, it's an 8.5 out of 10. Like I like it because I had fun with it. It doesn't have all the aspects that you need to get like a higher rating. Like I think it's still a high rating, but I enjoyed it very much. You know what I mean? But if I'm trying to go back and say like, okay, towards the end, the more ridiculous it got, it was funny for me. But I also have that mindset where you're like, okay, well now people know it's not this, and then you keep going. So it kind of takes away from it in that essence. But I just had fun with it. I was just laughing, having a good time. So 8.5 out of 10.
Nice. Jay, what about you?
For me, it probably stick with a 7. I think 7 out of 10 is good for me. It was fun, good setup, good premise and everything. I love the people's reactions, but it's not like, get me to jump out of my chair or anything and be. Yeah, I wasn't as excited as the Beehive tetherball to say.
That's true,
to say the least. So it was good though.
And there were some people in the bar, we should say, who weren't excited enough to get out of their bar stool either. All this shit goes down, and they're just like, can I get some service in here? Like, what is everyone what is everyone paying attention for? I also do want to say before I give my review, Tara Jolie, I think is her name. She's actually a very famous influencer now. She has almost 1 million followers on Instagram. She was the woman in the sketch. And Wee Man only has 1.3 million. So he's not that much more popular than this person. I'm sure it wasn't the same at this time.
I know who you're talking about, eh? So my Instagram, I've gotten to the algorithm of like.
I'm so curious to see how you describe what you're about to describe here, Chris. I'm just, this is the most
scantily clad little people.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So basically midget porn basically is heavy on my
Why take the time to try to make it sound better if you're just going to throw that out right after it?
Well, it's just the truth. They're the same. I'll call people like it is what it is, you know? So, but yeah, obviously I like it if it's showing up on my algorithm. So like, you know, I'm a man for the people. I'm trying to give everybody their shine.
Yeah.
But yeah, true. I definitely came across that girl and I didn't realize why she looked familiar. And that's definitely what it is.
I'm going to go just a straight 7 for me on this one. I ended up liking it. I didn't love it until it got absurd to me. That's actually like when the paramedics came in, I was like, okay, that's like when the cops came in, I was like, okay, whatever. And then when they tripled down on it, I'm like, you know what? Fine, you guys have my attention. I'm liking it, but it's still only a 7 out of 10.
Fair enough, guys. Let's say it wasn't blowing the roof off of any structures, maybe a porta potty, for example. Here comes Dunn to go in and do his business, and we're starting to see the dawn of the porta potty sketch as being like a normal thing. So we got a ton of this in Jackass Forever. He sits down, and 1 second later, we hear the explosion go off, but we don't see anything till he comes out and almost right down the middle. I don't know if you guys noticed this. He's blue. He's blued himself.
He blued himself.
He doesn't say anything though. He just walks out blue and just kind of presents himself to the crowd and stands there and looking like Two-Face. I thought it was great. What'd you guys think?
Loved it.
I love these sketches, but the human being inside me there should be some places that are off fucking limits, man. Like, if you can't take a shit in peace, like, it already sucks to take a shit in a porta potty. Now, for the rest of time, every time you're on set for 12-hour days, you're going to be on edge trying to take a shit, worried about it exploding and being covered in porta potty blue. I would
legit at this point just start pissing on the door of the porta potty. I'm like, if this is what you're going to do, you're going to make me scared to use a porta potty. Fine, I'm pissing on the door.
You know what? I would hire my own porta potty and keep it locked up.
That, Chris, there's no way they wouldn't get to it. That'd
almost be like a challenge now.
100%. And if they didn't get to it, if they couldn't sabotage it, they're just going to run a dump truck at it when you're in it. Like there's eventually they're going to do something. This was great. Again, love watching it. I agree with Chris. It seems way too intimate a place to prank someone, but also why was he wearing tinfoil in this? I can't point that towards any sketch or stunt in the movie. He's like wrapped in tinfoil. Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it was weird. Didn't get it.
Okay. Maybe that's just how he stays fresh. I don't know.
Maybe.
Oh, Jesus. Guys, one place you wouldn't want to be wearing tinfoil, not like it would really fucking matter anyway, is Electric Avenue.
We're going to rock onto Electric Avenue.
Sure, it's obligatory. I'll allow it. But listen,
you're gonna rock on. Come on, Jay.
This is a serious moment. You're ruining it for me. Don't ruin it for me.
Okay, all right.
I waited 99 episodes for this moment because this is one of my all-time. I'm spoiling it already. This is one of my all-time favorite Jackass sketches of all time. Holy shit! In case you don't remember, this is an office hallway. This looks like the same office hallway maybe that they would have did the jugs of water.
It's probably different because that was season 1, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a fucking office hallway, all right? Yeah. You know what it looks like. What really matters is what they've done to this fucking place. They really dressed it up. So imagine your standard boot camp. Tires on the floor. You've got beams installed at just about, I'd say, like chest or chin height there. Mm-hmm. And basically the idea here is, well, just get through the obstacle course. No big deal, right? But, oh, fuck, don't forget about the 15 stun guns, the 4 cattle prods, and just looking at this thing, the sound of it alone is enough to just make you want to piss your pants. I mean, those things, the snapping of the cattle prods and the stun guns as they're twirling on these strings, like, there is no way that you can get through this and not get fucked up.
I don't even think Mikey would Oklahoma for that one.
No?
No, I think I would come halfway through this one. I think
that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine, guys. But I mean, holy shit! Like the visual of this alone. Before we talk about what happens here, let's just focus on that for a second, because I think that in itself it's a beautiful moment. Like this is Jackass genius coming to life. This is an idea that somebody had, and I bet you they knew the minute they had it. Whoever's idea this was, I don't know who the credit goes to, but it's like, holy shit, I have to tell everybody about this right fucking now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure everybody else knew it was gold and they had to do it. And I just, man, you got to give them props, because we've had moments in the Jackass reviews where we've thought, they didn't put enough thought into that. They kind of just rushed this. This is perfect. This is like the kind of creativity that comes about without you. It's like when people say they wrote a song and it's like someone else wrote it for them. It just came to them and flowed through them.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent here, because this is like, it's perfect to me.
It's so simple and yet so well thought out that you're right. It's like this is like the essence of Jackass boiled down into one image, and you get the 1,000-yard stares of everyone who's about to take part in it. They're all dressed up in their "Oh brother, where art thou" garbs with like the prison uniforms with the stripes on it. And I think what I love most about that visual is, I don't know that I've ever seen the Jackass crew look so destitute. They look like the soldiers in the beginning of Saving Private Ryan before they hit Juno Beach. They just have that 1,000-yard stare. They're all like, they have no idea what's about to hit them, but they know that they're probably not going to survive it. And all of them are like almost in tears thinking about having to jump through the obstacle course. It was that anticipation. It's palpable. Like you feel it.
What I love is like, you could, like, I think of like the movie Entrapment. You know that scene?
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah. When you're moving through these like laser beams and all this stuff, and that would be tricky, right? But when you hit one of those, it's not gonna shock your body to hit like 7 other ones at the same time. It's like it's like a pinball machine. The second you touch one, your body can't control itself anymore, and you're gonna get like quadruple dinged. And I love that anticipation factor of it, because that's exactly what happens. And
Exactly.
Bam is the first one to go through. He's like, fuck it, I'm just going to get it over with. He's like the person who in a different type of war movie, like in Lord of the Rings at the Battle of Helm's Deep, and all the archers are holding their bows, and one guy just kind of panics and lets go and like hits an orc, and that starts the battle a little early. Like everyone's like, fuck, okay, I guess we got to go. Like Bam just runs through. But the first taser that he hits, he turns into like a cat that sees a cucumber. Have you ever seen these videos?
Oh, yeah.
Cats get creeped out by cucumbers, and they like jump, they break physics and jump in the air in a way that I'm like, I didn't see them jump. I don't know how they started on the ground and then ended up halfway up the ceiling. That's Bam. He goes like fully vertical. It's like he got slapped by the high five again. That was the best reaction of all of that.
This scene is like where I had in my notes when I was like, last episode I went on like the rant where like, fuck, I don't give a fuck. Bam needs to be in these fucking movies, because just the way he moves is so entertaining to look at. Everything about his body language, the animation of how he handles these types of things. Like, I don't care what it takes, what you got to do. He makes these movies better. It is what it is.
He always does.
This was the scene specifically when I was like, I really felt that, and I'm like, we're being cheated of not having one of the greatest, if not the greatest person that's in these shows. I know times have changed, whatever, things are different, but like, I just fucking miss it. I loved it so
100%.
much.
That's fair.
He did great. And by leading the charge too, I love that. Everybody's starting to strategize because they see him go first and they think, well, fuck, I can't jump, 12 feet in the air like a frightened cat because, it saw a cucumber or whatever he was saying.
You never seen
it's
that?
A real
It's
thing.
fucking
That's
fantastic.
a real thing.
I know. But they think to themselves, well, I'm probably not going to do that. So let's start fucking strategizing. And strategizing people do. You see some people going in and climbing on top of the beams to avoid getting stuck in the tires. Like, I think some people think if they can get on a beam, they can launch over the majority of the course. But, I mean, any way you go, top or bottom, it's stun gun or cattle prod, up and down. So you're going to get hit. And I think you know that going in. There's no clean way through. But it's just funny to see the rapid fire like trial and error one after the other, because you're always watching what the person in front of you did, right? So every time someone seems to change up that formula a little bit, and I thought that was just hilarious. But holy shit, like the adrenaline that must be flowing through you. I can't imagine just sitting on the other side of that, rolling around on the floor in pain and just like hearing your heart beating, and like you probably just you never feel more alive than in that fucking moment. I'm sure
there are other ways to feel alive. Would you guys rather go first or last? And before you answer that question, let me kind of explain my thinking of what the benefits, and because I think a lot of people are like, I want to go first, get it over with. Going first, sure, you're the first one through, you get it over with. But nothing has started swaying. None of the tasers have been taken down off the strings hanging from the ceiling. And you also, like, granted though, the benefit is you don't have the downside of seeing how painful it actually is, but you're hitting every fucking one going through and you don't get any of the strategy. But going last, you see everyone getting hit. Now you also have to crawl over bodies. If someone stops in front of you, then you can't keep going.
Oh my God. Dude, it's a human centipede situation here. You don't want to be at the back because
no, Jay, we're saying it's a bad thing, not something that you would enjoy.
How did you know I'd pick the back? Listen, you can't get through all of that manpower, all that humanity just lying there. Like if someone doesn't make it through and they get trapped, they're in your way now. And you're totally right. I don't want to know what this is going to do to me.
Yes. The
things aren't swaying around yet. I'm just going for it. It's going to suck either way. At least that's a little bit better.
I think I'm doing the same. Chris, what about you?
I'm going first, but I'm trying to go slow. Like I'm not running through like a wrecking ball. Before the things start moving, I'm trying to dodge them until I get hit, and then it's full steam.
No, I don't like that because
you got to slow.
You got to keep in mind you're doing this for Jackass. Like you can't try to not get hit. That's not fair.
I'm not a Jackass. Of course I'm going to try and not get hit.
So in what context in your life are you running through a hallway full of tasers if you're not on Jackass?
The same context that you have every Friday night when you get your fucking dominatrix over.
Yeah, and I sprint through it. I want to hit each one of those things. And if I miss one, I'm going back through starting in the beginning.
Dick just flapping around.
That is a pervert, Mikey. I did think about that. I'm like, there's two things that I would avoid. One, I don't care if it means I can't like vault myself over one of the wood planks. One hand is covering my balls and one is covering my face. I don't want to get a taser in the eye or something because I feel like that's just melting an eyeball. And I also don't want to get one to the balls because, I mean, obvious reasons.
You're probably right. That's probably safe practice. And guys, I think we got to do it. Like, unless there's anything else you want to say about this sketch, it's a big one. It's a big one. Like, I think we got to rate it though.
Let's go first, Jay.
I'm just like dying to know what you guys are going to do. So I'm just going to jump out and say, for me, this is a rare occasion. God, I don't want to give it the top of the scale because that poof is so near and dear to my heart that I could just watch that. That is like, if that's all TikTok was just that would be great. I'd sign up in a heartbeat.
There is an algorithm for that, Jay. You can spend your whole life watching poofs on TikTok if you want.
God, that would be a dream. I wouldn't get anything done. I'd get fired. I'd be out on the street in like a week. That's for sure. So for this one though,
selling
guys,
your body for a poof under a bridge somewhere.
Suck your dick for a poof. God, it is like, I think this is going to stand toe to toe with it, guys. It's going to stand toe to toe with the poof. For me, I have to give a 10 to something that isn't just a short and sweet rapid fire thing that makes me laugh to my core. I need to give it to a Jackass stunt that was thought out and planned out and had a theme and like a beginning and an end. And this is it. To me, this is the ultimate Jackass sketch. It's an easy 10 out of 10.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Chris, what about you?
I'm not going quite a 10, but I'm going very damn close. I'm going to 9.5. This is Jackass. Like, this is what Jackass is to me. Why I don't have the extra 0.5, I think a little bit, maybe longer, just something small else, but it's as good as it gets, and this is what Jackass is about. People getting hurt, obstacle courses, multiple people in it, everybody's laughing. That's as good as it gets. Yeah, I hear you. I hear what you guys are saying. But there's another voice in my head that is saying, now's your chance, Mikey. Now is your chance to get revenge on Jay.
We have
plans. For ruining all of our other sketches.
We have plans. Don't forget about the plans.
And guess what I'm going to do? This one, I liked it. I could take it or leave it. But it's not a poof.
Jay's
so
hitting
I
the
think
leave
I'm going to give it a 6.9 out of 10. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's good.
All right.
But it's not the best.
I redact mine. I'm going 2 on this one. Fuck you. 2 out of 10. It's already in the spreadsheet. Suck my dick. 2 out of 10.
Well, then it's one of the lower rated sketches of this whole movie.
That's it. You just ruined it, Mikey. That's it.
I didn't ruin it. I didn't change mine.
You ruined it. You ruined it.
Jay, you ruined it by being
see
such a
how-
hard marker for the other shit.
We'll see how long that lasts.
We'll see
If
how
the
long
two
it lasts.
changes to a 10 late in the night. That wasn't me, all right?
Jay's gonna wake up late at night dressed like they're dressed in this, in like their prison escape garb.
I'm gonna set an alarm.
I'm gonna you know what I'm gonna try to do is actually lock that cell, password protect that cell. So Jay can't
Quick.
change it.
I give in. I'm weak. I'm fleshy. Just let me be.
Jay changed back to a 10.
It's fine. Give us your real thoughts on it though. Why did you go 6.9? I'm sure you had your reasons other than to fuck me over, right?
Nope. No, I fucking love this stunt. I fucking love this stunt. It was unbelievable. But it's a 6.9 out of 10
Okay, fine.
for reasons that I've
I
just
literally
explained.
almost did the same thing just to fuck with you too, because it was like so many times we almost have a perfect one, and you're like 4 out of 10.
Yeah,
that's why I was happy that you went first, Chris, and gave it your score, because that made mine that much more impactful.
But guys, I always take this seriously. When I rate from the heart. God damn it.
Yeah,
Well,
like the cornfield.
The court. What are you talking
What
about?
are
Why
you
are we
talking?
laughing? There's nothing to laugh
the
about.
corn sledding. Corn sledding.
Yeah,
with
it's one of
Ryan
the
Dunn.
best sketches of all time. I don't know what he's talking
You know what?
about.
That I think, guys, that's a pretty good one to end off on.
I'm thinking that too.
It's a massive stunt, and the next one that we've got is good, but we got a couple kind of like middling ones. We had a good conversation about that. Why don't we wrap here? We're not in any rush to blow through the movie. We want to take our time, given that this is the last bit of Jackass mainline content that we've got to go through. Do you guys want to get started with our MVPs and LVPs?
Yeah, sure. And I don't want to blow through anything either. I know you've got a lot of blowing to do in the basement later, so we should get to it.
I'm not doing the blowing. That's what they're for.
I'm not laughing at that. It's not funny. Human suffering is not funny. Hey, I guess I'll do the LVP. Or are we doing LVPs? Yeah.
No, start with your MVP.
What do we do? Well, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Got to start with your MVP.
It's only been 99 episodes. By the way, happy Wayne Gretzky, everybody. Fuck yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
He did
There you
it.
go.
Yeah. I wonder what he looks like naked.
There's actually an image of him where he's basically just covered in suds and otherwise completely naked online.
Well, he's my MVP then. Guys, I gotta fuck. This is hard because like there was so much good shit in here this episode, and so many people stood out. It just like everything we saw in this portion that we rated, I think was pretty much a home run. Like everything. You know, This is really, really fucking hard for me. So, but I think I'm going to give it to, I'm having so much trouble. I want to say Ryan Dunn.
Okay.
But I also want to say Bam because he went first in the Electric Avenue. But here's why I'm going Dunn, because he has no fear. And I really saw that. He was the first one to do the jet engine, or at least the first one in the cut. And like, just to go in there and be like, I have no idea what the fuck this is going to do to me, but he sat in the chair anyway. He risked his life to do this like 2-second thing. And when I saw that and how close he came to getting fucked up, I was just like, holy shit. It's either pure stupidity or he's got some sort of balls on him. So he's just stuck in my mind. I'm going to go with him for this one.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Chris, what about you?
I found this one hard to pick a MVP because it seemed like there wasn't really like, I usually try and have someone that's in like multiple things, you know what I mean? That has like multiple big moments, but it was like every single one had one standout person. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to kind of like, you know, someone didn't dominate this scene in terms of like being in multiple things. So I'm going to go with the best person in my favorite sketch was Bam. Like Bam, the way he ran through that, it really stuck with me how much I appreciate what he brings to the table in this. So he's definitely my MVP.
Nice. My MVP, I kind of disagree a little bit with what you're saying, Chris, because I think there was one through line for all the stunts that we did. One person who showed up, whether it was to be the star of the stunt or just in the background somewhere and just take part. It's Dave Englund. He did Electric Avenue. He geysered shit out of his ass in the middle of a diorama. And he played the butler who just disappeared into thin air when he walked by the jet engine. Dave Englund, I'm always looking for another reason to shout that guy out because, like I said, I think he's the most underappreciated member of Jackass, and he took the show on this one for me.
Yeah, I love that our MVPs came together too to highlight 3 people that, well, personally, I would say that I think all deserved it.
Yes.
So well done, boys.
Yeah.
Good fucking teamwork there. LVPs?
Yeah, LVP. Jay, you want to start with the
Who wants to
LVP?
go first? Okay, I'll jump in because I think it's simple, boys. It's the LVP for this one is the Army Surplus Store, whatever one it was that sold Karen the security T-shirt. It was a bad mistake. Fucking fake security guard. No respect for Karen on this one.
So I don't know if there's like a cheap shot on this one, but this person's getting the LVP because I'm so used to them being in so much stuff, and I feel like we haven't talked about him in a while, even going into a little bit like towards the end of our last one. Like, where's Pontius been? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pontius was my favorite part of Electric Avenue because he's running through it laughing. And I think that's one of the reasons you don't notice him, because he's not really reacting. But the fact that he's having such a good time with it made me giddy.
Yeah.
But otherwise, he's pretty much
always
in this
like,
one.
and that's the thing. And it's like he's always that person that carries these little interstitials or carries in the background a lot of these things and really adds that cherry on top, so to speak. And
yeah,
I think we're just missing him a lot in this portion of what we're doing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Whether
Okay,
it's his
LVP
fault or not.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, it's a few stunts in a row where he doesn't feature too prominently, but get in more stunts, Pontius. What are you doing? We need to see you. My LVP in this one is going to be the U.S. Navy. Never mind the surplus store for powdering Spike, aka Loomis's collarbone, by renting out an F-14, whatever the fuck it is, to the Jackass crew, and letting them go haywire with it. I got to look after my boy Loomis. We lost him in the ground that day. Not to say he died. I just mean he rolled around in the muddy grass and we couldn't find him because he's so well camouflaged.
You think he was the inspiration for the ghillie suit?
I think he is a ghillie suit. He just hugs you, and then you can't be seen.
They say like different people have their like different tones that like work well with their complexion. He's earth tone to the fullest.
Earth tone to the fullest, but not earth tone in the typical like green and like a rich green. It's like mud, just mud, mud and crushed grass. It's his tone.
Classic. Well, hey, don't take off your ghillie suit. Come out into the public and share your stories with us on Jackass Pod. Don't be hiding. Don't be hiding in the bushes. This is an all-inclusive community here at Jackass Pod on Instagram, Twitter, all the other fucking ones. Just search it up. You'll find us. You'll find us, baby. Hey, if you want to get intimate, jackasspod@gmail.com. Send us an email.
What's
Send us
your
deepest, darkest safe words. I want to know. And so does Mikey.
I do.
Don't get too close to this guy if you're under the age of 18. Just a disclaimer. Just a disclaimer.
I got nothing to say.
I'm good. Yeah. Chris?
I'm a man of the people, baby. Fuck you, Tom.
I probably shouldn't have asked, but yeah, I know. It's true. We all know it. So Tom Segura, if you want to come on the show and mano y mano with Chris, everybody's just throwing shit at me. I don't know who's a fucking man of the people anymore. Apparently it's just a thing you know can
what?
start
I will
saying.
challenge him and we'll resolve this by having a basketball game, because that went so fucking well for him the last time when he severed his fucking knee.
Okay. There you go. Fighting dirty. I like it. I got nothing more to say, and Mikey has to leave, so we have to wrap this up right now. I can't do a classic drag it out, and I'm not going to do that. So, God, it's hard not to want to do that right now, though. I'll see you next week, okay? Bye. I'm Jason Wellwood.
Bye. I'm Chris Aaronworth, the man of the people.
Bye. I'm Mikey Aaronworth, and this has been Jackassed.
Furnished by Sad Styles Production.